What's up, YouTube world? I'm Ashley D. Before I get started, please go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, feel free to share this video as well. Everything I state is allegedly not a guaranteed fact, my own personal opinion and observation. So today is going to be a brief video in regards to the interview Miss Lieonya has put out. It seems as though she's been making her rounds quietly. We'll see how long it lasts for her allegedly claiming to not broadcast her private life anymore. But that's how she's been making a living, making a mockery out of her once 6-year marriage, out of her husband who's been nothing but, it seems as though, good to her. But she gives all the praise and glory to this young man that's been a part of her life, not even a year. But she wants to antagonize her husband with this broken relationship and these broken promises that this alleged actor, movie star, all the above that he claims to be, but we've saw nothing lately, not since they've been serious and exclusive, besides her taking him on trips and allowing this man to behave inappropriately with engaging with this, her husband, still husband to this day's child. And we would think at this point in time, this man would feel hurt, broken, confused, because this was the woman he took vows with, for better or worse. Not even a year after they renewed his vows, well, their vows, had a beautiful wedding, a redo, upgraded her ring several times. She turns around only to come out with these accusations saying that she was a DV victim, not to mention claiming to have been emotionally abused and physically, all the above. And when she came out with these accusations, everyone believed her. Everyone was on Miss Lieonya's side. They felt bad. Everyone started to point out things that they felt Mr. LaTruth did wrong in his relationship, or that he was even a narc because of his behavior and the patterns. And I even was one that was rallied behind her, because any woman that's in a relationship where they're being abused, and it's not a good feeling, especially when a man is stronger and they can overpower you. And at this point in time, after this stuff came out, there was still video as well as audio being released from her claiming to still want to be with him, to reconcile and continue on with this marriage that was broken, or becoming even more and more broken by the day. It seemed as though she was constantly putting out things about him and the things that he's done to her in this marriage that was so bad. But behind closed doors, she was the one that was trying to save the marriage. She was the one that did not want to sign papers. She did not file them first. She did not be the one first to walk away from this verbally and emotionally and physically, allegedly, relationship that was so abusive and toxic. But now we fast forward, she says that she felt allegedly suicidal. She was being attacked from this way and that way. Now, you can't add on now, because so many different things has transpired since these accusations came out. However, we can say that when this first happened, everyone believed her. Everyone felt sorry for her. So many victims came forward and spoke out and shared their story, as well as saying, I too understand and know how you feel. I am in that kind of relationship. You give me strength to walk away, or I once was you. So I understand how you feel. Every woman wanted to feel some type of empathy, compassion, and sympathy for her, because if not, they were in her shoes before, or still were. They knew someone that once was. So for her claiming to be, and excuse the ice cream truck, but for her claiming to be a victim of such bad circumstances, it was tragic, and we all felt for her. And then once she continued to release these statements and things of that nature, it became even worse. And then she started speaking out, attacking him. And it was kind of weird, but we still didn't have enough valid evidence to dismiss her accusations. So we still felt empathy for her, because no woman, we felt, should be abused by a man that can overpower her, especially her husband. And they have small children around. Even though they were not his, he did not father them, he still was the father figure in their lives. He became a part of these children's lives at such a young age. So he was that father figure. Not to mention, they conceived the child together as well during this 6-year marriage of being married twice again. So fast forward, now that all this has transpired, she's on an interview, and I think it's just to make herself look credible, because so many things has taken place since all this has came out, as well as the accusations of her partner that's been seeing someone else behind her back, that has been not faithful to her allegedly, and the people that are on her side continuing to antagonize her ex-husband to this day. And she always claims she wants peace, but she has people that are throwing rocks, and she's hiding her hands, not them, because they're so bold with it. And not only that, they come out and attack him, they attack the people that actually believe in him, that don't believe her accusations anymore, that call her out on her stuff, that only goes back over the things that she said and did that does not add up. And with that, and all these things transpiring, she has people that are coming after this man's family, coming after bloggers, coming after people who are even speaking their opinion on this situation. And when they're coming after them, they're coming after them hard, from their family members to their children to their personal lives, personal information, addresses being leaked. Kids are being talked about in an inappropriate, personal manner. Now, she always wants to paint herself in this victim light, to where she wants everyone to feel sympathy for her. And like we've all stated, a DV victim does not move like that. A DV victim does not move again and move 10 minutes away from her abuser and move someone in immediately. And we could say, okay, maybe she wanted to feel safe and secure. And if that was the case, okay, we'll just say that could have been the case. Then why would you continue to antagonize, poke, bark, and put out all this information that's personal about this man that had nothing to do with him? If you wanted him to pay for what he's done to you, you take him to a court, you pull up your evidence, your audio recording, your video recording, and not just when you poke the bear and then you hit record and he's going off. He's being verbally abusive at that moment, because you've probably been. So both of you guys were having this on and off dispute, and it just so happened you finally escalated to this point, and now you want to hit record, and all we hear is him going back off, but we do not hear what transpired before then. And the evidence that he has put out, it has backed up and dismissed every claim that you've said about him. And now it's like your people are working overtime to deflect. You claimed that you wanted peace and this was not going to continue on, but yet you guys have made several pages antagonizing this man, his family, people speaking out, continuing to go at this man, his brother, his page, his wives. Like it's reached a whole nother level. But you're on this interview and you're crying crocodile tears allegedly. And you're saying you felt suicidal. When in the beginning of this, when you're claiming to have felt this way, And you said behind closed doors, he was feeling sorry for you because he was trying to save himself in the beginning. When these accusations first came out and he wanted you to fix it, that had nothing to do with covering anything up. That had something for you to do with exonerating his name from out of this BS and this controversy that you had created in this false narrative that you had put behind his name that could mess up his brand, his marketing. He was doing everything for himself at this time. You had a management team behind you. You had sponsors and things like that. And he was his own person. He started that way in the beginning. He was old school and he continued to be that way. However, that's why he was nice to you. He never watched all your videos in the beginning when you were going off on him. However, his family was sent videos. They've ran across them. They've seen these false accusations. And that's when they begin to speak up for their brother, who just shrugged it off, didn't pay it no mind. And it got so bad to the point where he had no choice to release video of defending himself against the things and the accusations that you've said about him. And even after he's done that, it still was not enough. These people still stood behind you, rallied behind you, claimed he was this bad monster, this terrible husband who's done nothing but try to take you down. And now this relationship that you have that's unhealthy that we all see, we all saw in the beginning, you become unhinged allegedly. And we saw the fire in your eyes and the hatred. And it bothered us all because we saw someone that was married to someone for such a long time. And we never can say we know what goes on behind closed doors because we don't. However, it's this loving narrative that you all presented to the world and pushed off. And even if half of it was fake, half of that something out of this relationship to allow you to stay 3 months after being allegedly abused, to remarry again, and to even have a child with him after all this transpired. Not this getting ready to get a divorce, but all these claims that you claimed happened. You still continue to stand by him, and still to this day, if he wanted to work it out, we all believe that you would still be there. And he would still be emotionally, verbally, and mentally allegedly abused by you. And now you're on this campaign claiming that you were going through it. And the same person that you were slandering, the same person you put out all these accusations against, that people still believe you to this day, that we don't know when the day will come when people will wake up and see you for who you are, which is the wolf in sheep clothing. It's still going on. He's still trying to move gracefully and peacefully. And you want to say that you were the victim. The victim of what? The victim of being loved by a good man when you didn't deserve that. The victim of someone allowing you to come into their lives, their heart, and create a family dynamic that you never would have had without them. Because everyone wants to point out and say, you're the star, you have most of the money, you have this, you have that. Like I stated in my first video that I made about Lieonya, where he messed up at, he was the teacher and he allowed the student to get a piece of that, to get the feeling of being a teacher. So that's when she thought she could flip this and allow him to be the student. She wanted to be the teacher so bad. She played that part. And when she thought she had enough of his skills, enough ability to do this on her own, when half of the time she even stated in several videos in several interviews with the two of them that she did not want to do this. She had days where she didn't feel like it. He pushed her. He even pushed her to give out money to single parents, to do special things for people, to promote her products, to get online, to do skits. He pushed her to do all these things. So we have to ask ourselves today, with the 3 degrees and all, allegedly, that Miss Lieonya claims she has, where would Miss Lieonya, allegedly, who was at Best Buy, while she just transitioned over to being with him, while he was the content creator, the influencer, all the above, what would she be doing today with her 3 kids if she has never been a wife, had never run across Mr. LaTruth, had never been a part of his world, or he never responded to those DMs? Where would she be today? Would she be on interviews? Would she be the topic of people's conversation? Would she be an influencer? Would she have more kids? Would she have more children's father? And would her child's father that's moved on with his wife and his life and his other family as well, would she still be allegedly antagonizing him? Would she still been at Best Buy, or would she have moved to a different job? We have to all sit back and really, really ask ourselves these questions, and not the people that necessarily come on my page, because it's quite frankly, we all haven't taken the red pill. We all are woke. We all see what's going on. We all pay attention to the evidence and facts and audio, and there's so much of it out here. So how could you dismiss all these claims that we see in our face that are actual facts and just go on like it has never happened? And for someone to go on these interviews, and this is the thing, and I didn't want to say this because I don't want to sound mean, but whenever Miss Lieonya gets the story in, she's not on her filter, you can see those eyes beginning to get more and more crooked, slanted. You can tell when she's not being totally honest. And I do believe that it's things that transpired in that household. I do believe that there was verbal abuse going back and forth between the both of them. I do believe that tempers got flared. Things were said that were out of line, should not have been said. But however, I do believe that a man that was older tried to coach, tried to mold a mother of 3 into being something that she really never had intentions of being. I really feel like she felt as though that she couldn't pull this off. She never would have thought she would have made it this far. And when she did, and when she realized she could get away with the things she's done, when she could get away with constantly putting her hands on him, he don't want to report it to the police. He don't want to put it out here so it could possibly get leaked to the blogs and the image that he's created for not only himself, but he's brought her a part of it as well as the children. And now their daughter that they created together could possibly be messed up and tarnished. And just like that, there goes brands, endorsements, and so many more. So he wanted to deal with it the old-fashioned way. Let's go to my brother. He may not be a licensed therapist, but he's doing pretty well for himself. He's managed to keep his household intact, his 2 wives together. Everybody's getting along just fine. Why don't we talk to him? And even when he knew most of the time that his brother didn't necessarily agree with him, he still went to him to get an overall view, an insight from another man. Maybe I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing, or I'm saying something wrong. Or maybe if I try it like this, things will be different. But no matter how mild-mannered, no matter how much he tried to allow her to lead like she claimed she wanted to, it still was never enough for him. I mean, never enough for her. She wanted more of him. She demanded more of him. She demanded to go through his phone like he was in a cell 24 hours a day as she pleased. She messed up business deals for him. She didn't want him allegedly to be in videos with females, to promote his music career, to follow his dreams. And the thing is, he was okay with being an influencer. He was okay with getting that recognition, being acknowledged, putting himself out there. But that wasn't his passion and that wasn't his dream. And being in a relationship and being with a partner, you guys are as one. That's why Adam gave his rib to Eve, part of his rib, because that made them as one. That was them connecting. That was that soul tie. And that's how a marriage is supposed to be. Or should I say it should be. But that's not how their dynamic worked. She wanted to be the man. She wanted to add the structure and the discipline. She wanted to take the lead. She wanted to make him feel trapped. She thought in her heart, and she used this against him, that she was as good as it got for him. And she played on his little insecurities. That maybe he was vulnerable to his wife, that he should have been able to be vulnerable with. Exposed parts of himself that he never shared with a woman. Not to mention his allegedly wacko first child's mother running around here looking like that. She thought, oh yeah, he knows he won a jackpot with me. He knows I'm as good as it gets. And sometimes in relationships, and when we bind ourselves to certain people and tie ourselves to someone that we fully don't allow ourselves to get the chance to even know them on a more personal, deeper level before we commit, that things come out once we do that we never saw, or we would have never allowed it to go to that level with all these red flags. But now it's too late. So now we feel as though maybe we can help mold, work with this person, help change these insecurities around, help them grow as a person, as a mother, as a wife. Maybe she was just young. Maybe she lost her mother young. She didn't deal with it professionally. Maybe I can help her. But instead, you cannot help someone that does not want to be helped. A person will cover up who they are until their pure intentions are revealed. And then you will see who they truly are and what their motive really was. So my thing is, with this whole interview coming out and this woman pretending to be a wife, covering up, and now from camel toes being shown in interviews with other men, from shirts being opened allegedly, from her showing and revealing her body 24/7, you have to always ask yourself, and these are little subliminal things, but from a real woman to another real woman, or a real man that knows what a real woman's supposed to be and what her worth is and how she values herself and carries herself, we can all clearly see for ourselves that it was just a matter of time before she revealed who she truly was. And it didn't even take for her to sign the divorce papers to actually be done with this whole situation, for her to start dressing and having an open relationship and exposing who she truly is. So how can we just glaze over who this person really is and their pure intentions when they're showing us? They're showing us who they truly are. So I tell each and every one of you out here, if a person shows you who they truly are, believe them. I am Ashley D. I will be speaking to each and every one of you soon. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.